Hello everyone, I'm DonTheCrown, and today let's talk about the most overpowered of all of the life skills. Now, do you know about these? There's quite a few of them. We have foraging, logging, mining, hunting, fishing, and excavating. And excavating is the one we'll be talking about today. As you can tell, I've been putting quite a bit of effort into this, and let's just start off right off the bat with what the best thing about them is. And it's these treasure maps here. These give you the ability to open up a secret dungeon that is somewhere out in the region of the treasure map that you create. And you make these in your estate by first researching them in the laboratory and then crafting them in the workshop. And these just give you a one-player dungeon that has a loot box in it. And this loot box provides you with materials that are both like relics and things that are similar to archaeology, things that you would get just from doing archaeology normally. But most importantly, these also provide things that help you not fail when upgrading your materials. So, as you can see here, we just pulled out three Solar Graces, and these are each used in Tier 3 here to help you have lower chances of failure when you are honing up your gear. Now, you might notice that here in Tier 3, these Solar Graces are unbound and able to be traded, which is pretty great because current market values for this is, well, pretty good. So at 135, three of them, that's about 400 gold we just pulled out right there. And you could also see that we pulled out some other relics and things. Overall, this makes it very, very strong in Tier 3, Tier 2, and Tier 1, because in Tier 2, you also will be getting Moon's Breaths. So I have stocked up a bunch of these that I saved over from when I was actually leveling up. So I actually had 24 Moon's Breaths left over from when I hit 1100. And all of these are bound, so these came from Excavating and Excavation maps, and these really, really help. Basically, using 20 of these at a go increases your chances of success in Tier 2 by 20%, and that really, really helped me get very few fails going up to 1100. You can use these as well in Tier 1, and yeah, these little maps are really, really nice. Now, they do take a while to craft. As you can see, I'm cooking up a few of them. I think they take about 3, maybe 4 hours each, and they require a lot of materials. And Tier 2 and Tier 3 require some of the blue materials that are basically a part of that particular continent or that tier. And so for the Tier 3 ones, that means it's going to require the, what is called Aurea, the Aurea relics. And for Tier 2, this is Kaldar relics. And the way you get these are from gathering in the Tier 2 or Tier 3 zones, but I don't believe you need anything like this at all in Tier 1. Now, if you're wondering where are some good places to gather, where are some good places to level up your archaeology, well, you can tell in every single zone what types of materials you can gather just by seeing up here in the corner. So you can see here that there's trees, and there is also relics. And you can see that you can obtain Tier 3 special materials in these zones. Also hovering over this, you can see that there are green relic traces and purple old relic traces. And basically the old relic traces are a little bit more rare, but they give you a lot more materials. And this is pretty important with excavating, because excavating, as you level up, you'll earn at level 20 the excavation passive. I don't know why they called it excavation. It's just basically a repeat name. But what this does is after you have looted 5 locations, you will basically on the 6th location have a mini game that requires you to basically press a little button and at a specific time. And once you do, you're going to get loot, and it's pretty darn good. And those boxes are very similar to what you get out of the treasure maps, just not as good. At level 10, you have a chance of finding basically a treasure box every time you dig up. These are pretty rare, but they are 100% the same boxes you get from the treasure maps, so it makes them very, very good. And at level 30, you get the Sniffer Dog, which allows you to boost your rare material drop rate for 180 seconds. And this has a 5-minute cooldown, so you can kind of take a little break when your Sniffer Dog is off cooldown. But I always try to pop this right before I pop a minigame. And then the best locations I think I found here in Punica, the Secret Forest here is a pretty good spot. Tika Colony also has relics. In Tier 2, the best spots are in Phaeton, Shady Cliff. I pretty much just farmed this little area down here. And then in Yorn, I farmed down here in Yorn's Cradle, basically this little area right here. Now, if you're not yet in Tier 2 or Tier 1, one of the best places to level up your archaeology is here on Golden Wave Island. This is very, very small island, and basically you can sense almost all of the spots in the entirety of the map whenever you are like searching stuff for relics. And you can just see here, this is basically one of the few places you can also get Golden Age Relic, which I think is slightly better than the normal green relic. Another thing I recommend is that although it might seem like at first that doing archaeology gives you random locations, the random locations are actually set locations. They're always going to be in the exact same spot. You can just know in advance once you kind of run up to something. So like I know for sure that if I turn on my little beeper thing here and it's beeping in this area, that there's one right here. I know for sure that there is another one up here. It's going to be right around here. Every single time. So it's 100%. Once you kind of like get in range, you'll be able to do that. And the last thing I want to talk about are the tools of the trade. And so basically to get doing excavating, you need to have a shovel. And shovels are made in your hideout or your estate. And these have a bunch of different stats that can have on them. And let me see if I can pull this up. Excavating tool. So you can see all of the different stats that are on there. Super armor is really, really important to have for any time you want to be doing any sort of excavating where you're going to be getting hit by monsters. Gathering speed is not really all that important. Basic and rare material drop rate is very good because those increase the amount of materials you get. The chance for special rewards is also very, very good. The reduced chance for tool durability loss is basically bad. And then the 2 minigame rewards are really amazing. And so the minigame is actually quite difficult when you're doing it for the first time, unless you're like a super reaction type of player. I'm, in my 30s, so I'm not really all that fast. And the minigame difficulty reduction helps a ton. You can see that the tool I'm using right now has minigame difficulty 2 decreased. And what I think that does is it makes the areas slightly bigger and the arrow that goes back and forth a lot slower. And it's really, really easy to succeed with this, whereas I really need to hyper focus if I don't have this tool. And so this is the tool that I use for when I'm doing mini games, and this is the tool that I use when I am just going around doing normal digging. And I also have a third tool that I use that has rare material drop rate for just cracking open boxes. But hopefully one day in the future I'll be down to like 1 or 2 tools as opposed to 3. But I've been really, really min-maxing it. I've been buying out all of the green potions to get more life skill energy because I really want to get a lot of this archaeology done. Even just while filming this video, I've seen 2 people running around in the background here in Tier 3 doing archaeology. So yeah, it's been, pretty popping off. This is a great way to make money right now too. The things that the maps need. Oh, there's one more thing I actually want to talk about before that. So in your hideout, in your laboratory, there are 2 types of research when you're looking at treasure maps. There's treasure maps and there's treasure map boxes or chests or something. We'll see here in a second. You want to do the one that's not the box. The box is for using materials that are on your hideout or from your looting in your location on your estate. That's not what you want. So this treasure map chest, you do not want this. You want to do treasure map. And you always want to do the ones that are for the highest tier continent that you can have access to. And so I have done Phaeton treasure map and Punica treasure map. I didn't really know about this in tier 1, so I didn't really get to take advantage of it. Hopefully that helps you out. And yeah, these are definitely the ones you want to do. As you can see, I've been crafting these a whole ton. These require the blue relics and the green relics, none of the white relics at all. And so you can either buy these up, you can earn them from doing excavating yourself. You can see that the prices are getting a little bit up there right now. So this, if you're not looking to do treasure maps, you could also sell these materials for quite a lot of money. Comparing these prices to things like herbalism, for example, the prices are pretty good for doing excavating. Hope that helped you out. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and we'll see you again soon. I'm looking forward to doing more videos where I talk really quickly about different mechanics that I'm doing in the game. It's just been a kind of really busy last couple of weeks. We've been pushing really, really hard. Right now we're up to 1345 gear score, and kind of still trying to push up to 1370 here soon, but it's been a lot of fun. We also have a Deathblade and a Shadow Hunter in tier 2, and then a whole bunch of characters that are pushing up through tier 1, so it's been managing a lot of stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to come by the stream, and I stream every day. See ya!